Hello. I don't know what this is. So I wanted to make this video because I think I take this type of eating and sort of how I've changed my diet and even my life with my way of eating. I take it very seriously. And so I thought, you know what? I want to really do a video where I'm just speaking to you, no script, so it may sound jumbled. I may jump around a little bit, but you guys are considering eating this way. And I just think it's so important because I have realized it's so much more involved than just eating a meat based diet. Okay. When I started on this, it's been a year. It was a year last April. It was a year in April that I'd been eating this way. Where I've come as far as my knowledge on food and how it metabolizes through the body and what it does to your body over years has just, my knowledge base has grown. And so I get very excited when people are kind of interested in it and want to know. So I might be providing way more information than you want, but if you even have a little inkling that you want to figure out why you're gaining weight, or why you're not metabolizing things well, or why you're tired, or why you may have rashes, or why yada, 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 yada. This is a really good time to go ahead and take that interest you have and figure out what works for you. So just to kind of give you a little background on me and why I even came to where I'm at, I went along and I was eating green veggies, a little bit of protein, and a little bit of fat at the majority of all my meals. Of course, I was drinking alcohol on a fairly regular basis, but I was able to maintain my weight until a certain point when I wasn't able to maintain it anymore. And I was like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, I'm eating less, very consciously eating less, and I'm working out. Why I'm definitely burning more calories than I'm bringing in. So then I thought, well, maybe I'm not eating enough calories. And so then I kind of upped it a little bit and worked out. And I thought, this is just not, like, this is not how it should be. And I am not going to accept that. Well, because I'm over 50 now, I'm just going to have to accept that I'm going to gain weight. And I'm like, there's something, why do people gain weight when we get older? Why? Why am I eating less and I'm gaining weight? What the heck's going on? Then on top of all that, I found out, my hip on the left side had completely degenerated. And I was like, okay, I know when a hip degenerates or you get arthritis that sets in, that's an inflammation. So my body is, I should say, inflamed because my hip has not degenerated. I'm gaining weight. I don't understand what the heck's going on, and I'm going to figure this out because going into this, I'm a firm believer that diet and how we eat plays a major role in everything we do and how our bodies react to things, why we have inflammation, why we gain weight, all of that. So I started researching, my age and how could I lose weight and this and that, and it talked about eating more protein. Now, I had always been told that protein turns into sugar. If you eat too much of it, your body's not going to know what to do with it and it's going to store it anyway. So I thought, well, why would I eat more protein then? But I know carbs aren't great for me, and I was already off of processed carbs. So I'm like, I'm off of processed carbs and I'm gaining weight. So looked, came upon the carnivore diet. Now, I had heard about the carnivore diet previously and thought, absolutely not. That is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. I knew about keto, and I thought keto was dumb too. I'm like, why would you eat more fat? That makes absolutely no sense. I had always been low fat, veggies with a little bit of protein. And I just started to I couldn't get enough information on this type of eating, on carnivore eating. I started following carnivores on Instagram, all kinds of different ones. Some, and they all have their own little tweak on how to eat meat-based and everything. But I kind of focused on people who had been doing it for a long time because I thought they were doing it before anybody ever thought it was the thing to do. And I just found their stories really interesting. And I found that the way that they live their lives and their parents is very similar to mine. So I thought, well, if they can do it, I can certainly do it. So my thought was, I'm going to try it for 1 month. 1 month, I'm going to eat meat only. And I did it. And immediately I felt relief. Whether you call it inflammation, bloating, whatever you want to call it, it literally fell off of me. And all I had been eating was a good amount of veggies with my protein. I cut out the veggies, I ate meat, and when I was first doing carnivore, they talk about beef being the most nutritionally dense, because then that was sort of my focus too. If I'm going to eat, it's going to be the most nutritionally dense food. I'm not going to just eat to eat. I'm going to eat what's good for me and what's going to be the most beneficial for me. So I ate a lot of beef, eggs, fat. You begin to learn that fat replaces your carbs. What we have thought about carbs and how we need them, how our brain needs them, through researching carnivore is when I researched and learned more about the standard American diet and how we have been so misled in what we believe and what we've been told and what our doctors all tell us is being how you should eat. The grains, the whole grains, the blah, 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 blah. It's all kind of BS. And I don't even know how much more to say on that. I could totally guide you into what I researched, how I found it, and everything else. But in a nutshell, we do not need any processed carbs. And basically, we all had just become addicted to that type of food. That's what we've known. Even beans and rice and things like that we would say, well, that's a better option. When you cut it out of your diet completely and just try this and have an open mind, your body will react and it'll take care of itself. That's after about a month, I had lost 7 pounds and I was like, wow, is it water weight? Probably. But when you eat veggies hold the water in you. They're full of fiber. Great for you, but it's full of fiber and it'll hold water in. So when you don't eat it and you're just nourishing yourself with saturated fat, which you end up finding out is very good for you, you end up finding out that cholesterol is something that your body actually needs. It's just the problem that with our standard American diet is that we have brought in processed foods along with fatty foods and sugar and all of that. That has created this weird thing that we can't have fat and that fat is bad for us and fat is, going to raise our cholesterol and like cholesterol should be low. When in reality, we need the cholesterol. Your cholesterol is definitely going to go up. Your LDL is going to go up when you're eating meat-based. But you'll just be surprised at how well you're going to feel and how it's going to just fall off. Now, from what I understand from some people who are carnivore, they end up in the bathroom for the majority of the day or for a lot of the day, or they end up very tired and this and that and another thing. I didn't deal with any of that, so I cannot share that as being an experience for me. But for those people that I know who have had those issues, they said after about the 4th or 5th day, their body kind of got on track and they were okay. You will not have a lot of bowel movements because you're not going to be having veggies moving through you. But you won't feel constipated either. It's just the weirdest thing, but it's wonderful at the same time because you begin to feel like, oh my God, like my body is using the nutrients of the food I'm eating and I just don't have as much waste. It's just how it is. Make sure that you definitely drink a lot of water. Eat 20 times a day if that's what you have to do. Just don't eat anything but meat. Fat is going to get you full faster. So, if you want to add butter on top of your burgers so that you are more satisfied, do that. I mean, I was eating burgers at lunch. I was eating like chicken strips at 3, not with breading on them, but chicken tenderloins, I should say, at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon with some cheese. And then I was eating dinner, or ribeye for dinner. I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing because you're kind of like, it tastes so good too because you're like, I can just eat meat. This is great. I continued drinking coffee. I continued with heavy cream in my coffee because heavy cream has less lactose than half and half. So your whole goal is to stay away from sugar as much as possible in everything. And that wasn't hard for me because I was already so much off sugar except for my alcohol, which I will share with you. I continued still having my glasses of bubbly that I love. I still had that at night, a couple glasses here and there. I thought I'm not giving everything up right now. I'm just focusing on eating meat. I'll worry about this alcohol stuff later. But even with having the alcohol just in the evening and going meat, I still managed to lean up pretty quickly. And I did not increase my workouts. I didn't change anything on that way. I've been lifting weights now for about 5 years, so I didn't change any of that. And in fact, I didn't work out because I thought I need to just see how I feel just eating this way. I'm not going to stress out my body in any other way. And as I've gone through this process and you realize that, especially at our age, we have been eating so poorly, really our whole lives. Your body can take it. It can keep your glucose level where it needs to be, and it can chug along and chug along and chug along and chug along until it just can't eventually. That's when we have heart attacks. That's when we may have a stroke. That's when we may have a hip degeneration, that kind of thing. Your body is going to break down at some point. And so my focus now, it's not even about, it's like I'm so honed in on eating well to keep my body healthy and to keep my brain healthy. Because one of the things you'll realize too as you go through this and you're reading stuff and researching stuff is that Alzheimer's and dementia and all that is all related to this metabolic breakdown we end up having due to the standard American diet that there is. But what do doctors do? They just give you a pill. Give you a pill for this, give you a pill for that, give you a pill for this. We can control that by eating properly. It's just you have to allow your body time to heal. For me, it's been a year. I would say that right about the end of April, I'm not going to say something clicked, but I do feel I ended up cutting back on the amount of fat I was eating. I eat leaner cuts of beef. I eat chicken. But I needed to eat the fattier meats for a while to feel satisfied and then to kind of figure out what was working for me. And now I've come around to knowing for right now, I just need to eat leaner meats. I don't need as much fat anymore. I feel fine. I make it through the day. I'm not tired. I don't have any weird things going on. Sorry for this weird glare of the sun. So try it. I'm going to send you a couple links for this guy, Dr. Ekberg. He does YouTube videos. He explains things so well. And actually, since watching his videos, I've brought some veggies in. So I have brought veggies back in at lunch. I have found I can do, I don't need a lot, but I'll do a little bit for the fiber. Greens. And as long as I don't have them at night, I don't get the bloat. If I do veggies, I was doing veggies for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I'd snack on carrots. All that fiber in me was over time just ended up not being a good thing. That's why I was feeling so bloated, and eventually it just, your body can't break it down as well, and then other things happen. So try the meat-based. I love Kelly Hogan, Hogan, on Instagram. She was the first person I started following. She's a mom of 3 kids. She's cute as a button and crazy. She has hamburger cookies. She calls them every day for lunch. This Dr. Ekberg is great. There's Dr. Ken Berry, Berry, and his wife Nisha, Neisha. They're just cool people. Ken Berry, is a doctor, and he's like, he always thought you had to eat this particular way until he finally opened his mind to it. And he was like, why are we continuously as a nation getting fatter? More people have diabetes. And how many young people have anxiety, have depression, can't quite get their moods in order? A lot of it is just related to diet. And so we go plant-based thinking, well, we need to go plant-based. When in reality, that could be harming these kids further. It harms adults. If you do not have animal protein in your diet, it will break you down over time, without a doubt. Plants, you don't have to have. You could, if you never ate another plant the rest of your life, you'd survive. If you never ate another animal protein or fat, you may very well have issues with it. If you think about it, I always look at it this way. I love to watch those survival shows where people are kind of sent off to the middle of nowhere and they have nothing but whatever. I think there's Naked and Alive or something like that. The common denominator in that show that people will talk about is they have to have protein. They're looking for protein, always looking for protein. No one says, oh, I need to eat those green plants over there and I'm going to be the survivor. No, they protein, and then the next thing they always talk about is they need fat. They have to have the fat. It helps their brain function better. It helps their muscles function better, all of that. Then when you bring in a little bit of plants, it just kind of gives you the roughage and the fiber, which you can add back in. Or what I was doing too is I was kind of carnivore, meat only most of the week, and then on the weekends, I'd have potatoes or I'd have veggies or whatever. I mean, don't be so strict that you hate it, but allow yourself time to understand it, to eat meat only, eggs, meat, cheese. Try it. I guarantee you'll like it. If you are one of the few that actually gains weight on carnivore, that could happen. Stick with it. Just stick with it. Your body is healing and it's trying to figure out and it's holding on and all of this other stuff. So just try it. Stick with it. I'm here to talk to you anytime you want. Like I said, I will also send you some video examples for the Dr. Ekberg, who I really like. And this is the first time I've actually done a video on my computer. So I'm looking at myself on screen and then I'm like, no, I need to look at the camera. So excuse my eyes going up and down like that. That's it. And now the sun is going to be down pretty soon and be completely in my face. So before I bug you anymore with these beautiful lines all over my face, like I said, I am here to talk. I am here to answer any questions you may have, give suggestions. Enjoy it, and let me know how it goes. Bye.